Hello and welcome to my complete Season 11 guide for Viego. I've been playing him since the first day of his release and I practiced him a whole lot. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to dominate with him so you can carry all your games and get that LP, baby. We'll go over everything from his different builds, situational items, runes, gameplay, combos, and how to carry with him. If that sounds good, smash the sub button and hit that ding dong bell. Prepare for some more Viego and Kane videos every week, and you might as well break that like button while you're at it. Now let's get right into it. Alright, this video will be separated into 5 parts, I think. So let's get started with the first part. Why should you play Viego? Here's some good news. If you're trying to climb and you're looking for a champion to do that on, Viego is literally perfect. No matter the elo, his ability to 1v9 is almost unmatched. Viego is able to utilize every person he kills for resets on his abilities, so there is no downtime on his DPS after using his own abilities. Plus, he even gets an ult reset on every possess. Viego is pretty unique, and I think that makes him pretty powerful, allowing him to solo carry and not need anyone. Another cool thing is that he literally doesn't have a peak skill cap because of his possess passive literally allowing him to become any champion in the game. That, specifically in lower elos, allows him to carry very hard with enemies not knowing how to deal with him or his possessing power. Although, like any reset champion, think Katarina or Master Yi for example, CC is your biggest enemy, so a lot of times you'll want to grab some Mercury Treads or Legend Tenacity or even both, and I would even do Quicksilver on top of all of that sometimes, so nothing can stop me from 1v9ing all my fights and getting those wins in that sexy LP. Oh, by the way, I'm considering creating a new Viego only account and create a new Viego only series to Diamond on YouTube. So let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see that by dropping a Viego only account in the comments. The more you watch this video, the more you'll learn and the better you'll be at Viego. Now let's go on to a quick rundown of his runes and then a detailed explanation of all the Viego builds and items you can do. So Viego will always take Conquer every single time. No better rune, don't argue with me, don't think about it twice, Conquer every single time. Unless they change it significantly, it'll be the best item for him. There is also the option of going press the attack, but I think it's an inferior rune honestly, unless this is very niche, very situational. You're going with a full crit or full lethality build, which we'll cover later when we cover all the builds. Next thing is, how should you level up your abilities on Viego? That's pretty straightforward to be honest. You'll want to unlock your Q, followed by your E, and finish off with W and max the same way. The E, Harrowed Path, is much more valuable to level up than W. You get to lower its cooldown to 6 seconds at level 5. Yes, 6 seconds. Gives you a 50% attack speed and a 30% movement speed bonus for 8 seconds. Tell me that's not freaking amazing. Viego's E is really powerful and you should always make sure to play around it as much as you can, as it will give you huge bonuses during fights. One more thing we need to cover before getting into how you should build on him and how you should play him is his summoner spells. Viego will always go flash obviously, but for your smite, you can go with both the chilling smite and the challenging smite. They can both be great depending on situations. So let me explain which one you want for which situation. You will want to go with a chilling smite, blue smite, when you're facing a lot of kiting champs and you want to close that gap and get into melee range. Like a Graves, a Kindred, Vayne, Kaisa, Kalista, etc. You get the point. As for the challenging smite, it's much more valuable when you're facing a majority of melee champions, assassins, bruisers, or tanks. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the items and which items are best for Viego right now. Because there's a whole lot of them. Bunch of mythic items that can work, but there's only a select few that are the best in most situations. So let's start covering all of them right now. First off, so I think Kraken Slayer is the best mythic item on Viego jungle a lot of the time, but obviously sometimes you will need to switch it up. But to justify why, it's just so powerful to have that Kraken Slayer true damage on 3rd hit, because the passive counts as 2 hits. Viego's passive is a double hit, so he deals so much freaking damage with that. A lot of times I end up building a full survival build after Kraken Slayer without any extra damage, just because I know it will be enough on its own. That just goes to show how much damage it gives Viego. So I'll leave some full build examples in a bit with Kraken Slayer. I'll show like a bunch of full builds with different mythic items and you guys can see and get an idea. For now though, let's move on to the next item, and that's Immortal Shield Bow. It comes in at a close second because the main thing about Viego is staying alive, right? Staying alive long enough to be able to get those resets and possesses off so you can pop off and get that 1v9 in the team fight like a sexy beast. Well, Immortal can be very clutch to do that, considering some of the games where the enemies have a lot of burst damage and you will need to survive through it, then Immortal can come in very clutch. Godric can serve for the same purpose, so you can tank even more because of all that health you gain, plus being able to buy a Sterax afterwards. But the exchange is having even less damage than with Immortal Shield Bow, considering it doesn't give you the attack speed or the same AD. Plus, most of the time after building that, you're just going Bork second, and that's really good to just increase your damage and give you a little bit of lifesteal, so you'll be fine without the Kraken Slayer damage. Right now, actually, I've also been seeing some Divine Sunder or Viego, and I think it's actually a pretty freaking good option when you are facing a combination of a burst enemy team comp, but they're also kind of tanky. It gives you a bunch of health so you can tank and not get bursted, but it also gives you some max health damage so you can just shred down those tanks. And if you even need to, you can go with a Bork second, and then you're truly gonna shred through them. Speaking of Bork, you're probably gonna need one or another attack speed item because you don't get any attack speed at all from Divine Sunder itself. Alright, now we can move on to Viego's main items and the best ones to build after the mythic item. A lot of times with my Kraken Slayer build, I will go Sterax to be able to tank, while Kraken provides me with more than enough damage, so it makes for a pretty nice combination. There's also the option of going Bork second for insane damage. With all the other mythic options, usually Bork is gonna be the way to go. Another honorable mention I think is Wit's End or Death Dance when facing a heavy AD or AP comp, which can be insanely good because you'll be almost unkillable and deal a whole lot of damage because both items actually give you quite a bit of damage. So in summary, I'm going to just summarize real quick. The 4 items are going to be Bork, Sterax, Wit's End or Death Dance as second. And I'll just put them all up on the screen so you can screenshot if you want. Now, outside of these main items that I just mentioned for Viego, there is so many more situational items you can go on him, which is pretty awesome I think. So I'm going to put up all the greatest items you can run on him, and you can build according to your needs. So feel free to screenshot this one too. And just so you guys know, all of these screenshots are from my mobile fire guide on Viego, and I'm going to leave a link to that in the bio. You guys can check that out. And if you do, please leave an upvote on it. It actually helps a lot. I also put up some more fun builds you can do on Viego, like the lethality build you can do on him and the crit build. And they're pretty off meta, but I just put them in there for fun. So feel free to check that out as well. Alright, on to part 5, and that's how to clear your jungle and how to path when playing Viego. So obviously there's a lot of different options and ways you can go about clearing your jungle, and a lot of them are great, but I will show my favorites and my Viego playstyle and how I carry while jungling on Viego. So the main clear I use is a 5 camp clear starting on red buff and looking for a mid or top gank after scuttle. I like this one a lot because you get a whole lot of XP, most of your camps, and you get to gank mid or top lane with a good level 3. Now option 2 is to instead go for your red buff, raptors and krugs into looking for bot gank or mid gank. This one is a quick clear looking for ganks early on, and it's especially useful whenever you have a good level 2 bot lane or a good level 3 mid laner. Finally, the third clear I use a lot as well is the one I use when I'm duoed with a mid laner, and that's 3 camp clear again into mid gank to get pressure, not necessarily a kill, and then contest whichever scuttle the enemy jungler is going, in this case top lane, and grabbing my blue buff right before that. Alright, so now let's go over one of my Viego games and my playstyle and how I carried this one. This game I decided to start on my top side and do a 5 camp clear looking for a bot gank, so that's what I do, but I get surprised by the Graves, who's doing a similar clear and ganking bot as well, so I just end up in a counter gank and I just try to get out of there alive. And from there, the plan is just to go and kill our Gromp so we can reset it and have it spawn at a similar time as our wolves. Now when I'm done, I noticed that mid is getting ganked, So I just go again for a counter gank that doesn't matter much, kind of a waste of time, but that's alright. So we clear our top camps again, and I just go sit in this brush waiting for Swain and looking for a kill. Now he starts to fight and ults, and I'm able to get him, but he flashes my W and he pulls me into the jungle and I get killed by the Graves, which I kinda had no idea he was there. Still not bad, we got a 1-for-1 there, me and him, but my top laner dies as well. From here we're back to farming simulator. Till I see my bot fighting and some potential kills, so I kite my blue down and go down there, and that's what we have. We get a kill, and now I have bot pressure, so I'm looking for the Drake. Plus I noticed my mid laner's also pushed his wave, so it's pretty free right here. We forced him out and just grab it. Plus we get this Graves that tries to steal it and just ints and offers us an extra kill for free. Farming simulator again until we see the top laner is fighting, and I go up there, help, pick up another free kill. Gotta love it. And guess what? We go back to farming again. But a mid fight happens, so we run over there and boom, that's a few more kills. It's always like that. You go farm only if you can't find anything else to do. An eye on everyone and boom, that's how you get another 2 kills. And from here I was farming a little bit more, and I take a look at my mid lane, and guess what? We got some more kill opportunity. So I run over there straight away, and you see that W flash that I talked about earlier. We pick up the Graves Possess, and that allows us to also kill Kaisa. Pretty good, pretty nasty. Gotta love Viego. Now it's just a bunch more farming, and we go grab a Blade of the Rune King. I go Kraken Bork here because they have a Nasus, Swain and Thresh, all high health targets, so shred build. And while I was looking to invade this Graves and pick up his Gromp, I see this Nasus just wandering around. So I'm like, oh nice, a quick free kill, let's grab that real quick. And you know what happens, he dies, we pick up 300 gold, and we keep going. Now over here, as you can see, I come in with the Grave Possess knowing how much power I have, because Graves is fed and I have an ult reset, and I am able to pull this fight. And barely surviving, but we got it. Oh, and by the way, no one saw what I did with that Thresh Possess. I definitely did not miss my hook or anything. And boom, that's GG right there, because we're able to walk into their base and end it. I hope you got a lot of value out of this guide, and if you did, hit that like button and smash the sub button for more. You can also find me live on Twitch. I'll leave the link in bio. Go get those wins, y'all. I'm out.